The clock strikes midnight. Across a darkened sky, satellites hover, their sensors on constant alert, scanning for unusual signals. In the silence of vast command rooms hidden miles underground, red and green lights blink, reflecting the state of global peace or impending chaos. A soft beep sounds in the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, center, a slight disturbance, then another. Every sensor, every trained eye on the screen, picks up something unusual, a missile launch across the ocean. It could be a mistake, an accidental trigger. But in the world of nuclear strategy, nothing is left to chance. In seconds, a chain of command activates. The President of the United States receives a message on a secure line. Military advisors gather in a fortified room, discussing the immediate threat protocol. The nation's survival lies in the speed and accuracy of their response. While screens display trajectory data, strategists discuss the stakes. There's no denying that the US holds one of the most advanced nuclear arsenals, a triad of power distributed across air, land, and sea. Submarines, quietly patrolling deep ocean trenches, are ready. Silos hidden in barren landscapes await their orders, and stealth bombers stand fueled and ready. Each of these components makes up the nuclear triad, ensuring the country's defense from any angle. But nuclear warfare isn't simply a matter of retaliation. The US has multiple strategies to decide upon. Advisors outline possible responses, targeting critical infrastructure, striking back with minimal force, or launching a full-scale counterattack. The decision lies with the President, who must weigh each option, balancing the possibility of deterrence with the need to prevent an escalation that could cost millions of lives. Behind every scenario lies a question: how to fight without obliterating the future. Even as strategic plans are drawn, simulations play out on screens. First are the counterforce strategies, targeting enemy military facilities. These tactics aim to reduce an adversary's offensive capabilities, leaving civilian areas as untouched as possible. But this approach isn't without risks. It requires precise calculations and almost perfect intelligence. Meanwhile, a different set of scenarios unfolds, plans labeled as countervalue, targeting cities and economic hubs, designed to force a swift end through overwhelming devastation. Yet, such strategies are relics of an era long past, a last resort option that represents the dark extreme of deterrence. In the silence of the war room, the President and advisors consider mutually assured destruction, a concept as haunting as it is crucial. With every decision, the aim isn't just defense but deterrence, to send a message that any attack would lead to catastrophic consequences on both sides. The command center breathes tension as the weight of every possible outcome bears down on the team. In a matter of minutes, plans for retaliatory strikes are prepared, options ranging from a controlled, limited strike to full-force retaliation. Simultaneously, behind the walls of cybersecurity agencies, an unseen battle takes place. As military officials plan responses, cyber experts work to secure the country's critical infrastructure. Nuclear war isn't limited to physical attacks. A cyber breach could cripple command systems, disrupt communications, or even disable parts of the nuclear arsenal. The US cyber defense teams race against time to ensure that every line of code, every network, remains impenetrable. Outside the war room, the implications of each decision ripple across society. Within minutes, government agencies alert hospitals, emergency services, and even satellite operators about the potential for high-altitude nuclear detonations that could cause an electromagnetic pulse, crippling communications. While these preparatory steps unfold, attention shifts to submarines lurking beneath the ocean's surface. Nuclear-armed and cloaked in secrecy, they are the most formidable element of the triad. Designed to retaliate even in the worst-case scenario, they represent the final safeguard of US sovereignty. Their commanders await the signal, knowing that their actions could rewrite human history. A wave of silence blankets the control room as the president considers the unthinkable. Behind every scene, every step taken, lies the ominous question of nuclear fallout. Scientists and military experts alike grapple with the potential for nuclear winter, a scenario where soot from massive detonations blankets the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and reducing global temperatures. Food supplies would dwindle, ecosystems collapse, and human survival itself would hang by a thread. Finally, after what feels like a lifetime compressed into minutes, the president gives an order. Not an attack, but an ultimatum. Communication lines open, delivering a carefully crafted message to the opposing side, a reminder of the price both nations would pay if they escalate. The threat is implicit, terrifyingly real, and yet, paradoxically, a call for peace. In the following hours, the world waits, breath held, watching for any sign of de-escalation. For now, the United States holds its ground, but the questions remain: how much longer can nuclear deterrence keep global peace? How do nations move from the shadow of destruction toward a future where humanity can live free from this existential threat? And so, we turn our gaze to the future of nuclear warfare, not with hope for more weapons, but with hope for fewer. Treaties and dialogues are ongoing, aiming to reduce arsenals and build new safeguards. Yet, history warns us, it takes constant vigilance and communication to hold back the tide. The threat of nuclear war is ever present, a reminder of the fragility of peace and the power of diplomacy over destruction. In the end, the story of nuclear strategy is not one of power or dominance, but of survival. A strategy to defend, a call to deter, and, most critically, a prayer that the choices made in darkened command rooms will never have to become a reality. The future lies in our hands, both powerful and fragile, a balance that humanity must learn to respect if we are to thrive beyond the specter of nuclear conflict.